Rems Gems podcast, episode 11. Looking for some birthday magic this week in the NFL. All right, everyone. It's the big 3-0 for myself this week, turning 30.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm hoping to utilize some of that good birthday juju on my picks this week in the NFL. So we will see. But, year to date, 26-14, no complaints from my end.
You know what's funny from you're 30.
Mm-hmm.
You're just getting married.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
No kids, nothing in the.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 30, you were my last one. We were done.
Yeah.
We were done.
I do think it's a different era nowadays.
Oh, yeah. It's way better.
Yeah,
way better. I totally.
Yeah.
But back then, I'd be dead if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I didn't get married young, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
None of my kids really have, or friends really have kids at this age so far.
I know, but isn't that so?
It's different era.
Yeah.
We live in the generation where everyone lives with their parents, it seems, till they're, a little older. And times have changed. I mean, honestly, though, it's just
saving up money and different era. NFL this past week, it was a doozy. A tradition unlike any other. Note the hat. You going 2-3. I think it's, it's like clockwork these days. Just the 2-3.
I'm done. I'm done, but my Rems Gems, and I'm still going to stick it out just to try to fight to 500.
If you
so pissed,
but if you go 4-1, you're 500. 5-0, you're back.
Shut up.
It's 2-3 every week.
But I get my Rems Gem.
Okay. All right.
Houston. You know what?
That one hurt me as well. So that was frustrating.
That guy, I can't believe that everyone knows he's going to run. They're not going to pass. He threw 5 passes all day, and they just kept 4 guys in the box. You can't put 5. You can't put 6. You know what I'm saying? Stop the run. No, we'll let him run for 200.
Yeah,
I'm done with Houston.
Well, I was just going to comment. I mean, it's Derrick Henry, so regardless, he should be loading the box.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. But a rookie quarter, he's stuck. Did you see him passing, Reid? Oh, my God.
Yeah,
For 55 yards, Kyle, you put up the stat line on Twitter. I saw that.
Yeah.
I tweeted it out because on Monday I said, this is still haunting me. He was 5 for 9, 55 yards. And Derrick Henry, 36 carries, 220 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns. It's what are we doing? What are we practicing for when we know Tannehill's hurt all week? Are we just not game planning? That is the common sense, coach, that they were missing. I don't quite understand it.
But and my other loss, I just want to get this out, Reid, too, because I've been holding it in. Carolina, they go up 6 with 35 seconds left. I'm like, oh my God! I was doing the dance.
Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How did he throw that ball? 80 yards in the air.
A ball.
Cannon. Then they missed the extra point. How was that rule? Take it off the hell.
He wasn't on the field. He was off the field.
I know. But you see these guys run. The defense runs, and they're doing all sorts of things together in the end zone. Come on, the guy. That rule should be changed.
Well, it did matter for you. It ended up saving the Falcons. Falcons didn't cover, but there's a lot of NFL rules that need to change. Yeah. Roughing the passer needs to be reviewable. It needs to, there's a lot of NFL changes that we can do a whole episode on. But
I'm done bitching on that now, Reid.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to, but. I mean, that Atlanta-Carolina game was just bad beat this side, bad beat that side. You can kind of make 2 arguments both ways the way I see it, And I know a lot of people I saw on Twitter had Carolina money line. They're very upset about that. So, but I do want to comment on my loss with the Raiders. I would have loved to see a good toilet bowl and saw the Raiders, how they played against the Texans last weekend, and just saw a 0-0 overtime final. I thought the Raiders looked like the worst football team ever. We didn't even get to watch them on Red Zone because they didn't cross midfield. And I did a draft
right till the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
I had a DraftKings load up and it was horrible.
Yeah. Well, no, it was good before you. Hey, they were scoring 29 a game, then they get shut out. Crazy.
The NFL. Yep.
Hey, we're on location again. Howard's we're gonna let people know that.
Yeah,
people are wondering
Howard's
probably.
still
Howard,
out, the producer.
yeah,
Feeling better, but still not quite there.
Yeah.
So hopefully we're back in the office next week in the studio. But for now, holding it down via remote back at Casa de Rem. Reid holding it down at his fort. I would like to discuss my first loss, which was the Arizona Cardinals. That game was pretty devastating, where they had the ball. They outgained them in total yards. What else is new? Minnesota getting outgained and still coming away with a win and a cover. It's getting frustrating at this point. But Arizona, 3 turnovers in the fourth quarter. The back door was open the whole game, and 3 turnovers. 1 turnover on downs, I think 2 interceptions. It was pretty frustrating that I was like optimistic. Oh my God, I'm going to go 3-0 on the 1 o'clock slate, feeling good. And that game really did me in. So just Kyler Murray, I can't get away from him.
I know.
I can't get away from him.
Yeah,
yeah.
You have to say the new Call of Duty came out, so we should have expected that. Even if it even if it came out after the fact, his head was dialed in on just dropping people in Call of Duty.
Yeah. But on that note, so
how did you do?
3-2. Reid went 3-2, and you went 2-3.
Jeez.
Overall records. We'll throw them up right now. The recap: 26-14 for myself. Reid 23-17, and you are 18-22. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, we got plenty of time to. Well, you don't have plenty of time. You're running out of time. But, Reid and I are still in.
I'm that guy. I'm that guy looking at the hourglass, like you're gonna be executed when it empties. And
ready for next year already. I will say though, despite the mediocrity week from the Rems Gems, Reid had a pretty nice hit that I will let you discuss. We'll throw up the picture right now of the ticket that he hit. This was on Monday Night Football. I was sleeping and he gave me a call. I was resting my eyes and woke up out of it. Kind of scared me.
It's just one in the chamber. You got a couple spare bucks left on DraftKings at the end of the week after 3-2. Colts cost me a lot per usual. That was my Rems Gem. Heineke came in 2-minute drill. It was 2 4th down completions. The crazy McLaren catch that I thought was a pick. So, I was all over the place. But back to the ticket, I was Cleveland Bengals ticket. I didn't think it was that difficult. It was a big game. Kyle, I think we chatted on this. It was a game that you could have made a lot. And I saw other tickets of people hitting. But I just did the promotion that they offered. I think it was 50% or 100% boost. Kyle, do you know which one?
It's based on how many legs that you have. It's the bigger boost. And you had 7 legs to yours. So I think yours was like a 50% boost.
7 legs. And I mean, I can go over them quickly. I mean, I had it was the first one was Browns to get 3 or more sacks. That happened in I think towards the end of the second quarter, early third. And then the hardest part I thought was race to 5 points, race to 10, race to 15, race to 20, because if the Bengals, they were going in on their first drive, if they score a touchdown, their ticket's dead right there. So that I think is the hardest part. Being a dog, that always boosts it up pretty nicely too. And then it was just Amari Cooper over 49.5 receiving yards, which he got in the second. And then the last leg, which was, I believe it was right in the beginning of the fourth quarter, Amari Cooper had just anytime touchdown scorer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 7 right there.
Yeah. What did that pay?
It was 15 to win 800.
Ooh, that's a nice.
Yeah, so it was
little payday.
And I appreciate. I was on. I was doing a little gaming, and Goody was on the headset with me, and he had Amari Cooper in fantasy. So we were I'm pretty sure that's a touchdown. And he kind of bobbled it, and then reestablished his feet and got it. I was pumped. And Kyle, you won too.
Yeah. So I had a small one of it was reverse money line, Browns -2.5. Nick Chubb touchdown score. Nick Chubb over 79 yards, and to get a sack.
Myles Garrett
to get a sack. That was the 4. That paid 11 to 1, but it was nice. But also the next morning, first thing I thought of is the 500 to 1 ticket from last year. Of this was the game where if I played the exact same ticket as that one last year, it would have hit, 5 sacks. They go up 20-0. Cooper dominated. Chubb dominated. Everything we would have done, it was like, oh my God, that's almost like nice hit. Feels good, but also a little frustrating.
Yeah, one of
those things. But
so I have 2 things to say about that. I totally agree. I was going to take Jacoby Brissett anytime touchdown score if I didn't take Amari Cooper. He was like 12-1 for anytime tutty. He had a 3-yard rush, so that hurt. And then just in general, like I noticed, and this is of course what I did this week isn't relevant, but every time I see a Sunday night or Monday night game that I don't take in the pool, I have a side and it always comes in. Like I like Packers Sunday night. I like the Browns. I don't know. I feel like I've been doing pretty good on prime time, excluding Thursday, of course. Sunday, Monday.
Are you taking any primetime games with your picks this week?
So I should, but I have 5 1:00 games.
Oh, well, there we go. So that'll be a witching.
I love. This will be out. This will be out Friday. Last week, who's the Thursday game? You both
Ravens, Tampa Bay.
And I liked Ravens, and you both liked Tampa.
I don't think that's a game that you're like, oh, that was such a right side.
No,
that was a grind.
When I was listening to the podcast, I was like, you guys were.
We did. We liked it.
I love, and I didn't do it, but this will be out Friday. I love Philly to crush Houston. Okay. And I'm not taking them just because I want the people.
On that note, I would like to give out a little Houston money line for those. That's going to be a game that everyone is going to wake up like, how is that game? How did that happen? Philly's supposed to be the best team. No, they're focused on the World Series over there in Philly. They're not dialed in on this. I think that Houston keeps it close. How's that? They keep it close.
We'll see.
13.5, it's a big number.
We'll see.
Okay. Well, on that note, we will throw up the spreads for this week. The whole slate, smaller slate, because we got a good amount of teams on the bye that only about 13 or 12 games to pick from. So it's a narrow group. And when you take out the Thursday game, the primetime games, pickings are getting small here. Not the easiest. So
what did you guys think of the trades?
Yeah,
Any trades that you liked? I got one that I love. The Hines guy.
Yeah.
I think he's a big addition for them.
I think Minnesota picking up the tight end was great. I think that
Chubb going to Dolphins was huge, I thought.
It is.
Still playing Fortnite, and then he saw them get Chubbs, and he was all hyped up. It was awesome.
Interesting trade deadline. I think it didn't do much in terms of the ticker, though. In terms of the futures, I saw that no futures moved, so it just has a week-to-week effect, more or less.
Well, the thing about Chubb in Miami, I was talking to Tene about this today. They have to go through both Kansas City and Buffalo on the road, probably. You know what I'm saying? So that's you gotta have 2 A games to be beat those.
And that's why I like Minnesota being a buyer, because the NFC is wide open. Hey, let's take a shot, right?
Let's take a chance. I like Frisco with McCaffrey is a.
They got the weapons.
Yeah, it's a challenge to me.
Yeah.
And another sneaky pick was the guy last week that the Kansas City got, the wide receiver that wasn't playing with the Giants, the former number 1 pick.
Odell Beckham.
No, number 1 pick.
No. I'm saying, I was going to mention this before. The Giants are looking at bringing Odell back. Odell's not.
Yeah. No, but I'm talking about the kid
Kansas City brought in. He's always hurt, and
he hasn't played yet. But he's a stud. He could.
You're not talking about like Sterling Shepard, are you?
No, he was the number 1 pick.
I want to say Darius Toney, but I don't know. The name is slipping my mind. I'm not great when I'm put on the spot with names, as we learned in my game show history. But back to episode.
Hey, little sidebar. You guys ever see that game show with 25 words? Oh my God! You got to guess the thing. They give you 5 words. I think we'd be great at it. You got to look at.
I will. I'm a game show guru.
They give you like 5 words, and you got to bid like against the other team. Like you can get it starts at 25. They get down to like 15 or 16, and it's like
Okay. Well, I will take a look.
Yeah, it's worth a watch.
Not having a name doesn't help for the viewer's sake, but it's
on at 12:30.
Hey, what about all the stuff we're talking about that doesn't have names?
Yeah. We're on it.
Okay, week 9 picks. Going into it real quick, just a couple notes that I usually come in with. Tom Brady, the GOAT, lost 6 straight games against the spread. His 2-6 start is the worst of his career, and that is a long career. Andy Reid, dominant off the bye with 13 days or more of rest. He is 21-12 against the spread. His straight up record is phenomenal. Any takeaways from those two things? Chiefs and Bucks, I mean, is what it is. You know, I don't like either game this week, but I just like to bring the facts to the people.
I appreciate the facts, but no, I didn't touch either of those.
Okay.
I did something I haven't done in 31 years, and that's take 5 favorites.
Well,
oh my God!
You have the floor. On that note, we'll throw your picks up right now, and you have the floor to release.
Holy bananas!
I know. So let me tell you, I sent a text message today saying I feel like books are inflating these spreads a little bit, trying to get people to take dogs. I don't know. I know books got killed last week from what I read, but I have 5 favorites, not big numbers besides one. A team that people kind of forget about. I'm taking the Chargers -3.5 against the Falcons. I still don't believe in the Falcons. I mean, look what they did with Carolina. Chargers, are they coming off a bye? I think they're coming off a bye. I would have to. I don't remember them playing last week, but
they got Cordell Patterson back and
yeah,
2 safeties.
That does scare me, but I don't know. I think the Chargers have been in a lot of those games where they're not going to take their foot off the gas if they go up big, like they did against Houston. Raiders, I'm back to the well. I think they might be the worst team of all time last week, so I have to get back to them. Playing against the Jaguars, who I think are totally fake. So that's -1.5 on the road. Patriots -5.5 at home against the Colts. I think the Colts, they've kind of shook up their offense and their coaching stuff a little bit. They this is all off the brain, by the way. I didn't write any of this down. I know you're impressed. They got rid of Hines. Jonathan Stewart didn't practice today. Not Jonathan Stewart. Help me out with that. I always forget his name. Jonathan Taylor didn't practice today. So we'll see. I guess he's got like a banged up ankle. And then we're going to the Bengals, who got blown out on Monday. Kind of a short week, but they're playing Carolina. I think if Bengals can just go up 14-0, then they'll Panthers will kind of have to go and do something they're not used to and throw that bomb with 30 seconds left. I think it'll get picked off normally. And then Minnesota against my favorite team ever, the Commanders. So
take that pick.
I'm a little surprised on the Bengals too. I think the Panthers are for real.
No, I don't. I like that pick. I don't like Minnesota. I still am anti-Minnesota, but I can't go against them every week.
You think the Panthers are for real?
Last 3 weeks, they beat the Rams, they beat Tampa.
They lost by 14 to the Rams. I covered.
Oh, that's right. They played them tough first half. Yeah.
So I'll speak on the Panthers. Like, I think they have heart, but I think roster-wise, they might have the worst roster that has ever been alive for the NFL.
They are playing with heart. And the Bengals, you know what? Their defense gets after it. And the Bengals' offensive line looked pretty troublesome last game.
Not to put you on the spot, but I bet you can't name 3 players on the Panthers.
Oh, yeah. The kicker, Piero, who missed the kick.
We're going kickers. Okay.
My point exactly.
All right. I'm getting into it.
You?
No, DJ Moore.
I know the running back.
I'm getting into it with my week 9 picks now. All right. I like to read mine right off the rep, 5 in a row. Starting out, so year to date, 26-14. We got the Las Vegas Raiders giving 1.5. Also with you on the Los Angeles Chargers on the road giving 3.5. The Chicago Bears plus 4.5 home dog. Cincinnati Bengals laying 7.5. And finally, the Arizona Cardinals giving 2.5 to the red-hot Seattle Seahawks. Couple notes I got for you on each one. Chargers, Falcons. Chargers 3-0 against the spread on the road this season. Falcons 0-2 since their 6-0 start. They're starting to come back to earth. Chargers off a bye week, getting healthier. I like it. Panthers the Panthers versus the Bengals. Panthers, as we know historically, 1-29 straight up and 6-24 against the spread when the opponent scores 17 or more points. That still stands true and probably is even more true now with this depleted roster. Bengals are scoring more than 17, I can assure you that, and they're going to be covering that number. And then both the Raiders and the Bears pick, both of them lost by 20 last week. They both got blown out. When teams lose by 20 or more, they are 63% against the spread. I think Chicago, that's the trap game of the week against Miami. Miami barely survived Detroit last week. Probably should have not covered. And that they're not going to get away with that same thing this
20 to 25 mile an hour winds.
That helps. That helps.
Right. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. Justin Fields running.
Just like week 1 when Fields did that little surf on the field. If it's crazy weather like that,
yeah. And then Kyler Murray. I don't know why I can't get away from Arizona. They just draw me in, and I think half my losses this season are with Arizona. But we're going back, baby. Going back.
Right when I think about they pull me back in.
Real quick, I had that game clicked like the whole time -2.5 on Arizona.
Well, but you can't go against Seattle.
I can. They play worse at home, so that honestly threw an effect.
All right. And now you're up.
I went Raiders too, and I'm really feeling bad about it now that we all three have. It's like,
it's bad stuff.
After the shot, and Jacksonville's good.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some offense, but they haven't learned to win yet. But I got to feel if they lose this game, if Raiders lose this game, it's over. It's
what a disappointment.
Right.
The biggest disappointment in the NFL in terms of expectation versus reality.
Much talent. I think Jacksonville has talent, but they're not coached well. I don't think the Raiders are coached well either. But the Raiders are just a better football team.
What's his name's going to be healthy? Devontae Adams should be healthy. He was sick last week, but still, not to get over the 50.
I don't dislike Doug Peterson as a coach. I'm okay with it.
Well, he goes for it too much, though. He'll go for it too. It always backfires. Of course, now that we have the Raiders, he'll be make 4th and 20, and he'll be making
for sure.
Well, Jacksonville is like bizarre and weird, and I don't like to go against them too much if they're like getting points, but. Raiders are laying 1.5. They win by 1. Then I'll be very salty.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Then I took the Bills, 12.5.
Against the Jets.
Yeah. I heard a great stat this week that under pressure, what's his name? Zach Wilson. He has 9 completions and 10 interceptions. Completions under pressure. I found that more passes basically to the other team than to his team.
Yeah, it's wild stat. I just can't help but think back to 2 or 3 weeks ago, probably 3 weeks ago, when you said, the Jets are for real, man. The Jets are our money. And now they go on a 2-game losing streak. You couldn't jump off fast.
Oh, no. Well, that was before I didn't realize. I thought Green Bay was good. Now I realize Green Bay is in the top. Do you know there's only 13 teams that have more points scored than against?
No, so you're saying there's a lot of blowouts?
No, I'm saying there's a lot of horrible teams. There's only 13 teams in the league that have scored more points than they've given up.
I don't think much of that.
Oh, well, I do.
Either, because if you lose by 21 and then you win 4 games by 4, then you're still, up. You're still up again, and you're 4-1.
But surprisingly enough, all these teams that have 13 win with that positive scoring, Kansas City, Buffalo, Philly, it's all the good teams. Yeah. So I think there's something to it. I just think the league, this is the worst I've seen the league my whole life.
But what would the maximum be if there's 13 that have a positive number, right? That is the maximum 16? Because someone's got to win, someone's got to lose. I don't know. You got to win big. I don't know. I got to think more on that.
All right,
I don't think much of that so
far. But I love the Bills. I think the Bills, they're the wagon, and they want to just keep rolling, and it's a division rivalry, and I don't think they're going to keep up with them. So
I just divisional game at home. I don't know.
I don't respect Zach Wilson. I don't respect him at all. I think he's a bust. A bust. Out of those 5 wins the Jets have, Flacco has 3 of them, right? And the other one, they ran the ball against Green Bay, right?
Yep, and he's gone.
Right.
Yep.
Then I'm going with the guy that's been sucking all year, and his team's been sucking, the Green Bay Packers. This is another do or die game. They have to win. They have to.
I thought that last week, and they did cover for me. They covered an absolute miracle against Buffalo.
I know, but I knew they were going to. This is a win for the, if you're making the playoffs, if you have any hope of making the playoffs, you have to beat the Lions.
Yep.
And the Lions last week, I saw the Lions get tore up by Tua on the middle of the field, and they don't make adjustments. It's just like everyone's open.
Mm-hmm.
If Tua can do it.
You're betting against the Lions, or you bet on the Lions. They lose for you. Now you're betting against them. You're a book's dream.
No, I'm coming through that camera. I'm coming for you. I can't wait to see you.
Hey, I did the same thing, so I'm.
And then this week I took the Seahawks against your team, the Cardinals. Getting points.
Makes me feel good about mine.
So today, he's 64% getting points on the road, Pete Carroll. And I don't respect Arizona, the coaching staff, Murray. I don't respect anyone on that thing. Reid, go back to week 1 when I told you Geno Smith was awesome. No, that's how far. At least I can flip-flop. Yeah, he went from a bum to a stud.
Yep.
You are a very firm flip-flopper. Like you should call it.
Well, and then I went with the Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens over the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, it's an interesting game.
Right.
I'm feeling good about these picks. This is the first week. Like last week, I tried a new theory and it sucked.
Well, my concern about our picks as a collective group, and this is hard, really, really hard for me to say. We have 14 favorites and 1 underdog. I have 4 favorites, 1 underdog. I felt bad about that. I can't imagine how you guys feel with all these chalk minus. Oh my God.
Favorites are covering.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think the odds makers are trying to entice you to take the dogs this week. So beware.
Okay.
What about your gem?
That's it. What do we have as the Rems gem of the week? I am going to use mine on the Los Angeles Chargers. I think that they're going to come off this bye week, and I saw some people throwing shade at Herbert, and I think he bounces back in a big way. They've been good on the road. They're going to get a massive road victory here by 14.
Vegas.
Ooh.
We all got him. So
I hope so.
That's fine. It's fine with me.
Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Oh,
be
boy.
a big one.
I also got I'd like to give some bonus Rems Gems. Saturday.
Yeah.
College football. You got any thoughts on
in terms of prime, I would like to say 7-0 on my write-ups on the Action Network last week. So go check all of them there. Georgia, Tennessee.
That's the game I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I just know. I really hope you don't, but Tennessee, you have them. I like Georgia.
No, I was thinking the over.
And that's not a bad play, over as well.
I haven't seen anyone stop Tennessee.
No one has. But the 90% of the bets, 95% of the money is on Tennessee. The spread went from like 13.5 down to 8. It's still moving. If I see Georgia at 7, I will be locking that in so fast. But I think I'm going to because everyone is on Tennessee. And I know what they did to Bama. I know what they've been doing. The offense is incredible. But at some point, Georgia's defense isn't a slouch.
I know, but they play so fast. That's the thing. They play 2-minute offense the whole game.
Yeah.
That's why I say they're going to put up, 30 points.
They very well might. Nope.
And Georgia can You know, their Tennessee's defense isn't all. You know,
exactly. Yeah, the over is a solid play.
I see a shootout.
I would say over, but if you see him at 7, jump on Georgia at 7 for sure.
All right. See, we're giving you a little bonus. That's what happens when you come to this podcast. Not only do you get that, you get that.
Last total you gave was the Patriots Lions over, so just beware. Spooky here, Halloween time.
Gotcha.
All right, everyone. Any final takes?
No. When am I going to see you, Reid? Though I can't wait to see you.
Shade's been tossed via remote.
I love to express my love to you.
When we sit next to each other in the office, you're always bumping me.
Yeah. All right. Well, that makes sense.
Well, happy birthday, Kyle.
Thank you.
I'll get you a drink when I'm drinking again.
All right.
Soon enough.
Let's. I would.
Oh, hey, 34 pounds, people. 34.
Well done.
Keep going in the right direction. My wife, we're a combined 50 pounds.
Let's go.
50 pounds in 5 weeks.
So your weight loss is going up, and your win total in this contest.
I know. There's correlation. Thanks for pointing that out once again.
We talked about it when you physically pick up a 50-pound weight, like in the gym. That is a lot of weight, you know. Like,
oh, absolutely,
that is hefty. So, congratulations. Now let's find some winners.
You got it.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Let's
Good luck.
make some money.
Rock and roll. Thank you, Howard.